Coming out, to Eric for inviting me, to everybody I dragged out at the last possible minute, my friends, my fiance. This is my anniversary outfit, so yeah. I do this for a living. Check me out. Jasmine, Sarah, Plascon.com. Or you can add me on Facebook at JSPisWriting. I'm gonna read like a excerpt of an essay and then some poems. I dub it stereotypically angry feminist reading, and you'll probably see why. When does a woman first learn to treat her body not as subject but object? At what point does the white noise of cultural messaging and unwarranted comments about her body flick the trigger into self-appraising violence? Holla Back, an anti-harassment organization, launched a worldwide survey on street harassment that garnered about 16,000 responses from women all over the world. Never surprising, but always enraging, the survey found that 84% of young women under the age of 17 reported at least one experience of street harassment. 1 out of those 3 girls reported this happening by 14, 1 in 4 between the ages of 11 and 12. So here is the answer to the question. A woman learns how to transition from body as subject into body as object, and it happens around this time she starts puberty. Apparently, the development of curves and breasts titillates men to the point of barbarism, minor or not, consenting or not. The minute a girl does not look like a girl to him, and sometimes even men, he believes her to be fair game. Because it has only been recently that the interiority of women's lives have been translated into books and movies and songs on a level that is no longer containable, this long-time assumption that a woman must be admired, sexualized, but not engaged with in any meaningful capacity beyond what her assumed uterus can do is wrong, is a very boring statement to make, and not the point I hope to emphasize. What I want to emphasize instead is that this internalizing of an outside gaze is how we learn how to survive. We learn how to adopt the eyes of the oppressor, to not be that girl. Beyond the traditional expectations of our grooming rituals and beauty habits, this conformity to expectation must come from within as much as it comes from without. I'm not your average nymph, boy. Come watch it be so. Ask me again about your Scylla, and watch these slack slip hands tip forward the bull. Like oil to anoint, I'll cleanse my sister in my stream of poison. Blessed be your love. Blessed be you and your six-headed joy, your whore hydra dream. What? I thought this is what you desired. My rage dressed in moons, my spell, her undoing. She will still love you, boy, like father does his unconsenting nieces, whose sonorous wails you will drown in as she swallows you whole. Okay, this next one's, oh, yeah, thank you. I circle myself like Lilith's snake when it slithers around the tree bark to split open its skin. The mirror I comb my infinite hair in begins to crack. Broken glass gives birth to a new God, a second me. I open the garden and the fields bloom. Then I chop rows of men's heads like flowers. Then I slice the lens as leaves. Hear my cornucopia, the horn of plenty. To you I offer my burdens, collected in this basket. That was that one. In the era of 4K and Netflix, I watch our silver screen offer up the horror of the day. She dies all the time by knife or chainsaw or gun or car crash or the DIY torture device latched to her head or the good old-fashioned juicing off screen while in the middle of riding some good dick as God and these directors intended. It's not new. I cheer for their survival like they're going to not die. And that's not new either. Really. I just don't know in what world the whore would not survive. The whore, capable of lifting herself up to God by the grace of her muscle, a prayer to the pole above, the whores, a corner girl, the neighbor, myself. What to call a masterpiece whose foundation is built over bones. Skyscrapers are proof that we can transcend limits. But the algorithm can't find me a single goddamn movie where the whore lives. Tucked between zeros and ones, the metaphor, the flower that blooms in the dark, a whore who survives men. I love to hear my magpie sing, even and especially when his voice is 3 octaves too high, cracking from joy on purpose. He jettisons into the sky all the time. Life is a burden he makes look light. My magpie floods our nest with trinkets. Our cabinets are fit to burst from his troves of flaming hot Cheetos and ramen. On the way in or out the door, his hoard of swords by the door, where I sometimes trip if I'm not looking, and I'm often not looking. My magpie, by the grace of his legs, lifts off from his feet like a swan, twirls all around from room to room. I keep no cage for my magpie because he knows me most, my face, an ink blot that drips down his memory. I love my magpie loves me. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.